We have a lot more definitions in this part. So this section is going to be parallel lines cut by a transversal, and we're going to look at the relationship that that has. So a couple of things. Two lines that never intersect are called parallel lines. These arrows right here tell the reader that those lines were parallel. If those arrows weren't on there, we could not assume that they're parallel. Only these markings make it parallel, okay? And the symbol that we use is, it looks like two lowercase l's right beside each other. So that's our symbol for parallel. All right, so a line that intersects two or more lines is called the transversal. So in here, in this diagram to the left, T is going to be the transversal. So L is parallel to M, and the transversal is T. Now, a couple of things that you need to understand. When we label lines with one letter, it is a lowercase italicized letter. So L is parallel to M, that's my marking, and the transversal lowercase italicized T. Okay, very, very important there. So here's how I know on a quiz or test, if you've paid attention, is how do you label? All right, so now what happens when you have two lines cut by a transversal and these are parallel? Special things happen. Corresponding angles. So here's what I like to think of it, all right? I'm going to kind of, can I zoom in on this? I do not know. All right, here are my parallel lines. If you were to take scissors and cut this like right in the middle, and you picked up these four angles and set them right on top of each other, one would be sitting on top of 5, 2 would be sitting on top of 6, 4 would be sitting on top of 8, and 3 would be sitting on top of 7. They correspond, they're in the same position. 1 is on the upper left, 5 is on the upper left. 2 is on the upper right, 6 is on the upper right. So that's what corresponding angles are. They're in the same position on the parallel lines in relation to the transversal. And these angles, when they're parallel, are always congruent, which means they have the same measurement. So I could say angle 1 is congruent to measurement of angle 5. I could say angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. I could say angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. And I could say that angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. I could also say the measurement of angle 1 equals the measurement of angle 5. Okay, but that's what I can say, that these are congruent to each other. All right, alternating interior angles. If you were to think of this as a hamburger, so this is a hamburger, my parallel lines, and this is inside my hamburger, okay? So that's the inside of my hamburger. Anything on the interior is inside my hamburger. So alternating interior angles are, not only are they on the inside, but they are on opposite positions. So they're alternating with each other. Look at number 4. This guy's on the left, 6 is on the right, 4 is on top, 6 is on bottom. They're alternating interior angles, just like 3 and 5. 3 is on the top, 5 is on the bottom, 3 is on the right, 5 is on the left. They're alternating with each other, and they're inside. So they're inside the parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal, and these angles are also always congruent. So I can say that angle 3 is congruent to angle 5. I can say that angle 4 is congruent to angle 6. That's my measures of congruency. All right, let's take a look at the other ones. All right. Now, I know that alternating exterior has the same language. So if you think about your hamburger bun, and here's the inside of the hamburger, the bun is the exterior. That's the outside of the hamburger. So it's the same type of relationship, except they're on the outside. They're alternating with each other. So if you look at angle 1 is alternating with angle 7. This one's on the top, this one's on the bottom, this one's on the left, this one's on the right. So I can, and 2 and 8. 2 is on the right, 8 is on the left, 2 is on top, 8 is on bottom. They're alternating between each other, and they're exterior. They're on the outside of the hamburger. And so these guys, just like interior angles, are also congruent. Okay, so I can say that angle 1 is congruent to angle 7, and I can say that angle 2 is congruent to angle 8. That's congruency. All right. Consecutive interior angles also are sometimes called same-side interior. Same-side interior angles. I like same-side interior because it means same-sided transversal. So consecutive interior, again, inside that hamburger bun is what I want you to think. And so inside, and they're on the same side of the transversal. So angles 5 and 4 and angles 3 and 6. These are consecutive interior angles. They're right next to each other, right beside. Same side of that transversal, okay? And these angles are always supplementary. And we know supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So watch my statement here. It's the measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 5 equals 180 degrees. I can say the measurement of angle 3 plus the measurement of angle 6 is all equal to 180 degrees. So that's the statement there, okay? All right, now let's take a look real quick on numbers 1 through 7. If I had to classify these and indicate whether they're congruent or supplementary. So 1 and 5, these are alternating. Think about my hamburger bun. 1 and 5, they're on the exterior. They're alternating with each other. So they are alternating exterior angles. Now, I'm abbreviating, you are not, okay? Mine is for the sake of time. You can slow me down. So alternating exterior angles, and they are congruent. Okay? 2 and 3, they're on the same side of that transversal, so they are consecutive interior angles, and they are supplementary. They add up to 180. 2 and 4, they're corresponding. 4 is on the top left, 2 is on the top left. So if I were to cut this and place those 4 angles on top of each other, 4 is corresponding with 2. So I have corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are congruent to each other. And if I look at 2 and 6, they're on the inside of that hamburger, and they're alternating with each other. This one's on the left, this one's on the right, this one's on the bottom, this one's on the top. So these are alternating interior angles, and alternating interior angles are congruent. Okay? So that's how they relate. Let's take a look about how to solve some of these guys algebraically. All right. And I'm going to do, let's do 3 and 5. I think these are fun. This is kind of like a puzzle, if you will. So this section is angle 3, this section is angle 5. We'll do those together. So on here, I know that angle 8 is 97 degrees. 8 is 97 degrees, and it's telling me that C and D are parallel. So now I can assume alternating interior and all that. So let's take a look. If angle 8 is 97 degrees, I know that angle 2 is 97 degrees because those are vertical angles. I know that 4 is 97 degrees because these are alternating interior angles. So this is 97 degrees. I know that 6 is 97 degrees because 6 and 4 are vertical angles. I know, and 8 and 6 are corresponding either way. All right, so I know then that angle 1 and 8 are supplementary. So if this is 97, this guy needs to be 83. So angle 1 is going to be 83 degrees, right? I think that adds up to 180. Yes, it does. And so then if angle 1 is 83, angle 3 is 83 because of vertical angles. So that's 83. And 3 and 7 are alternating interior, so angle 7 is 83 degrees. And then 7 and 5 are vertical, so that's 83 degrees. Okay, so you just kind of piece it all together and you kind of have fun and let the numbers play with each other. So let's look at number 5. All I know is that these guys are parallel to each other. M is parallel to N. So let's take a look at what I know. 38 and angle 8. These guys are vertical, so angle 8 is going to be 38 degrees. I know that 8 and 9 are supplementary. So if this is 38, this has to be 144. Angle 9 has to be 144 because they're supplementary. And 9 and 7 are vertical. So if 9 is 144, 7 is 144. Okay? Now, if I look, I know that angles 1 and 2 add up to 90 degrees. And if I look closely, I know that angle 1 and 38 degrees are alternating with each other. So angle 1 and 38 are alternating interior angles. So that's going to be 38 degrees. And I know that 1 and 4 are vertical angles. So angle 4 is going to be 38 degrees. I know that 1 and 2, because they are complementary, they form 90 degrees. So if angle 1 is 38, angle 2 is going to be 52 degrees. I know that 2 and 5 are vertical. So 5 has to be 52 degrees. And if angle 3 is 90 degrees, because these are consecutive interior right here, angle 3 is 90 degrees. Angle 6 is vertical with 3, so angle 6 is 90 degrees. So I just played a little bit at a time to make sure those added up together. So if you have questions or you want to do some more activities on these, we can.